Welcome back, everybody. Got a quick video today. Hope everyone had a great weekend. This afternoon, I went to my mailbox and I found out that my first order from SGC ever just arrived. I put 2 orders in for the take-home special they had at the National. So I have a 7-card order, and I'm going to show it to you here in a minute. All right, I have the camera turned around now. So here we have the package that came today from SGC. I have 2 separate orders. One is still pending out there. This is the second order. They're all from the same set. They're actually from the Diamond Star set here. So this was the card that started it all for me with the Ted Lyons that I picked up in 2020. And by the time we reached 2022, I wanted to put the set together. So these are the ones that I had that were ungraded. So I submitted them to SGC based on the take-home special that they had at the National. Got the first 7 cards back here. I do have another order out there, which is also a lot of vintage, but this is the only one that I have is all pre-war, all the same set. I'm really excited to see what the grades are. I also was happy if they just kind of came back as authentic and encapsulated, so I didn't have like high expectations that they were going to be grading out like 7s and 8s. But I did want to make sure that they at least got encapsulated if they were authentic. And hopefully some would actually have some decent grades on these cards, some of which you've already seen on the channel, at least in ungraded form. So now we're going to see them in graded form. So we're going to crack open this package here. Came in a normal United States postal box because it was a small enough order. So I'm just going to kind of do a little cut there to get this opened. With the video, I'm going to show you a picture of all the cards ungraded first. Then I'm going to show you each card individually with pictures at the end of this video. But for now, let's just kind of go through the order, and you can kind of just do a quick once over with me, and then I will do more detailed pictures later on. All right, so we got some rubber bands on the cards here. Got my invoice with my take-home special right there. It looks like they did put them in numerical order, which is great. That was how I submitted them. So we'll start with the first card I submitted will be card number 8 for the set, and we'll go all the way down to the big card in the order, which I'll share in a minute. All right, so let's put some holders out here. We're going to move Ted Lyons now off to the side. We're going to put our 4 orders or 4 holders here. We'll have to rotate the cards through as we go through it, which I'm excited to do. And here, let's get it started. So, all right, so the first one I submitted, I picked all these up at card shows. I didn't buy any cards over the internet, so these were all card show purchases. So we're going to start with card number 8, which is Joe Vosmick. Came as a 1.5. So sorry about the glare on this card. Looks like they wrapped this one up only in the card in the back. Otherwise, they don't have the package on there. So we have the Joe in here. There must have been something wrong with the surface I didn't really catch. Some creases or some markings on there. Oh, look, there is a few marks on the card there. That's why it kind of came back as a 1.5. Again, I was fine with just getting them encapsulated. This one was the only one that came back as authentic when I looked at the scores over the mail. And I can see kind of why. It looks like it has been trimmed. It said minimum size not met. It looks like the border may have been trimmed a little bit at some point, but I wanted to have this one along with my 1936 edition of the Roy Mahaffey. So that's card number 10 there. This is the 1934 release when he still was with the Oakland A's. Now we have card number 13. This is also this is a 1935. This is George Baleholder. This one I thought would actually get a lower grade, honestly, because the centering was so bad on it. But here he is with the St. Louis Browns, obviously the city skyline, the industrial skyline in the background. So happy with that score. This is kind of in line with the set that I'm building, which is pretty low grade stuff. We haven't featured him yet, but we will in the future. Jimmy Wilson, who we have featured before. This came back also a 2. So I'm pretty happy with that score on there. All right, got 3 more to share. Here we have Gus Czar. He looks very happy catching that ball as the runner's coming down after him. This is from the 1935 release. It's at 2.5. Thought this one actually might grade lower than some of the ones that got 2s. So, little I know about grading at this point. So we have Gus Czar in the background. Billy Werber came back a 3. Which is a card I featured a few times, just talking about the book he's written about playing baseball in the 1930s. So I'm happy with that score. kind of right in the middle of the scores I have for the cards that I have in my set so far. So we got Billy there. And then the final big one in the order was one I picked up at the 2019 National. I've shown before and talked about it before. It's the only Hall of Famer in the order, and it's Joe Medwick, and it came back at 2.5. So I'm actually pretty happy with that score, because there is a little mark here on the surface over here. And the edges are a little rounded at the top. But I imagine that mark is what probably brought it down out of like a 3 or potentially even 3.5 or a 4. So that is it. I'll show you some close-up pictures here in a few about the cards, and I will talk to you soon. Hopefully my other order gets back this week, or gets processed and get back this week, so I can share that with you. All right, have a great one.